Hi everyone. So I also am realizing that I think this podcast may be turning into one about cats, cats and people, and that's not really like what I'm aiming for here, but I do have like one more thing to say about my soul kitty Hades, and then I'll try not to talk about him because I went a long time without talking about cats. But anyways, I forgot to mention he's been going on like a temporary hunger strike for the last few days. So his new thing, I don't know if he's trying to manipulate me or if this is just how he's expressing his feelings, but his new thing is like in the morning after he wakes me up and I finally decide to get up, I go and I get the food and then he's meowing and he's like prancing around and then I put the food in the bowl and I make it just the way he likes it and I put it down in front of him. He sniffs that shit and then like trots off to the bedroom and is like, "Wow!" He like could have eaten it. He saw it, he smelled it, and he just yelled and like ran away for like a fucking hour. Like each day he's been doing this. And then I'm like in my room, like working, and all of a sudden he just storms in my room, like, meow, like, where's my food, bitch? And I'm like, I've been here the whole time, Hades. Like, why are you like striking all of a sudden? And then you're blaming that on me. Like, and then I realize I'm sitting here having like pretty much one-sided arguments with my fucking cat. It's hilarious. I mean, he's eating obviously, but like I don't know if he's trying to I don't know what he's doing. Like, haha, bitch, I made you get up and like make me my shit and now I'm not going to eat it and like I don't think cats are like that. My cat is definitely not like that, but I do create stories in my head about their behavior sometimes. I'm kind of wishing I didn't share all that, but it's whatever. 2 minutes is important and I can't lose it. I've already used up 2 minutes. And okay, so another thing that I'm a little bit I'm unsure of. I'm not sure if I was supposed to have done this. So I'm not a very good secret keeper. But in all fairness, like if somebody doesn't say it's a secret, then it's fair game as far as I'm concerned. Like I'm not going to sit here and like, oh my God, you just told me this deep dark. And like the first thing I want to do is go blast it. Like I'm not like that. However, I do like to talk and I'm not a gossiper. I used to be. I'm not going to lie. I used to be in my 20s, my terrible 20s. I was a gossiper for sure. But like as I got older, I stopped that because I started realizing like, hey, it doesn't feel too great to be talked about behind your back and then you find out about it. But anyways, so what I'm getting at is Janice, our neighbor slash friend slash family, she texts me. Did I tell you this already? I don't think I did. Sorry if it's repetition, but like she texted me and she's like, go to the porch. And I went to the porch and I didn't see anything. And I'm like, is this bitch like, what is she doing? And so like, I was just about to walk back in and she's coming out of her house and she's got this huge trash bag. And she's like, hey girl. And so I go down the stairs and we meet in the middle of the houses and she hands me the white trash bag and she's like, here you go, free therapy. And I look inside and it's stuffed full of those bubbles that you pop because I made one comment to her. And this is the shit that like people do with me. If they say one thing, I stick with, like it just sticks in my mind and then like I go with it. So like I get it. But I mean, Janice is giving me so much bubble wrap. I haven't even gotten to it all. I had to separate it. I organized it. It took me like 3 hours the one day when she just brought a whole bunch over and then like a whole box, a huge box of bubble wrap. And like, I know what she's doing. She's like looking for an excuse to not have to like figure out how to throw all that away herself. So whenever my big mouth opens and I'm like, ooh, she's thinking like, oh, that's less stuff I have to figure out how to get rid of. So it's kind of funny. But anyways, that wasn't the point of the story. So as I thank her for the fucking bubble wrap I did not ask for, she's asking about like Alicia and when is Alicia graduating from grad school. And I told her I was pretty sure of the day, but I knew it was like in May or whatever. And Janice goes, what do you want to, like, do you have ideas for her graduation present or whatever? Now, guys, I was born and raised in Japan, and I escaped that country, not that I was trying to, only for 3 years, and that was to Hawaii. So basically the same thing, almost. And then I went back to Japan, and I fucking loved both of those places, except for, just kidding, Hawaii. I really hated Hawaii. But I didn't count Hawaii as like living in the States. Like, I lived overseas basically. And so apparently in the States, there's this concept of somebody's graduating usually from like high school, and they get to have all this money and presents and stuff. And there was some of that when I was like going through high school over in Japan when I graduated, but like we were all military kids. I mean, even the officers' children, like the officers had lots of money. Like maybe they gave their kids like a bunch of money or something. I don't fucking know. But I was like thinking when Janice said like a gift for graduating, I was thinking like a gift card. In my mind, I'm like, well, Alicia likes Lowe's. And good thing I did not open my mouth and embarrass myself, because Janice goes, is she going to any like concerts, or like there's any trips that she wants to go on? And I'm thinking to myself, like, what? Trips? Concerts? That's a lot of fucking money. And I didn't know what to say, and I was like, oh yeah, well we're going on one in July. She's like, oh, is it for her? And I'm like, well, no, it's for me. But I said, Janice, I don't know. And then I was like, we're fine, like we don't need. And she's like, no. She's like, just tell me what would be a good gift for Alicia. And so I gave her the honest answer, which was, we would both actually like it if you would just come with us, and so that you and I can watch her walk. Now, just a quick tangent. I don't want to do this. I really don't want to go and watch my wife walk, because, like, I don't want to fucking do it. Like, I don't know this place. Like, I don't know where am I supposed to go or whatever. So, like, Janice is really helping me out, too. I just didn't say that part. I don't know. Maybe me and Janice will have a heart-to-heart next month when we're sitting there waiting for Alicia to walk and get her fucking diploma. I don't know. But it was, like, the truth, and I told Janice, aside from that part, I said, like, we both had shitty childhoods. I don't even have contact with my family anymore because they're so toxic, and she knows that. And then I was like, in Alicia's family, I think they don't even know that she's in grad school. Like, her family is so dysfunctional. Oh my God. And so Janice would be the perfect, well, I view her as my mom. Like, I've adopted her as my mother, so she's like the perfect adult to I don't know how to word it. I hope you know what I'm trying to say. Like, I want to support Alicia and all, but, like, I think it should also be, like, more than just me. Like, Janice kind of represents, even though she's in her 70s, like, she kind of represents, like, a motherly figure to us. And so we've always, like, treated her with respect and, like, as it, because she's part of the family or whatever. I thought that was enough, because it truly is. And Janice, like, poo-pooed on that. She, like, waved that off. I'm like, Janice, seriously, like, you're, like, our fucking mother. Like, this is good enough. And she's like, no, I want ideas for a gift. And I'm like, okay, let me think about it. Okay, so, like, I probably could have condensed all of that into, like, 2 minutes. So then Janice leaves. I go inside. A couple hours later, Alicia gets home from work. And I went to Alicia and I said, look, I don't think I'm supposed to be telling you this. But Janice didn't say I wasn't supposed to, but I'm pretty sure common sense dictates that I'm not supposed to say something. And I pretty much was like, Janice came to me and asked what would be a good gift to give you for graduating grad school. And I was about to say a gift card, and she was thinking, like, along the lines of concert tickets or a trip. And Alicia was like, oh, oh, of course. Well, of course not to me. I wasn't raised with this lavishness. Like, people get all the way to, like, the end of high school or the end of college or the end of graduate school, and they get presents for making it that far. Like, what the fuck? Sorry for that noise. I didn't get any of that shit, so probably that's why, like, I'm not very happy right now. Like, did my parents know about this like, tradition and did not clue me in? I don't remember any of my friends in high school or anybody in college saying that they got all this money. But then again, like, there's a lot that is just right in front of my face that I miss. And so I told Alicia, like, the reason I'm telling you is because I do not know what the fuck to tell Janice, and you are a hard person to get a gift for or anything. Like, she just is so difficult to buy for. She's so picky and stuff. And Alicia didn't even, like, blink twice. She's like, oh, no, it doesn't matter that you told me. That's great. Like, and I said, well, you really need to think about something because Janice is expecting, like, something soon. And I was really freaking out about this, but Janice doesn't know I was freaking out about this. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to say? Like, can I just say gift card? Because, like, Alicia will use that, I don't know. Anyways. Yeah, so I have no idea if I was supposed to tell Alicia that. I'm thinking no, but I also think, like, if you were not, like, taught some stuff growing up or, I don't know, does it count if you say so? Anyways, I'm going to move on from that. Can somebody tell me if that was appropriate or not? And then the other thing, since we're on the topic of Alicia, her hours have finally changed. She no longer has to get up at 4:15 in the fucking morning. Oh my God, it's like, it's just so nice, especially for her, because I can't even imagine. She's had to do that for like at least the last 2 years, and she got to switch to a different department in her building, but they're trying to hang on to her for as long as they can because she's the best one in her department, and they've overtaxed her, and she's been trying to bolt for months now, and it's getting so close, and the first step is like the change in her hours. So now she doesn't have to get up until like 6 o'clock like normal people, and she gets to leave at 3 or whatever normal hours. Anyways, I'm very happy because she's going to be at work later, which means I get the house to myself more of the time. So I don't know, that's how I benefit. But yeah, and then like one other thing, we were at Trader Joe's yesterday. It's a grocery store in the States for anybody who doesn't know. Like a hippie grocery store. It's like pretty cool. I like going there. But we were at Trader Joe's yesterday because I had run out of gyoza and I needed to stock up. And it's not that busy because yesterday was Easter, and I forgot that there's people that celebrate, like, not the bunnies, the Jesus part. No offense if anybody does, that's okay. Or, the bunnies, if people like bunnies too, like, but anyways, so it wasn't that busy at Trader Joe's, and Trader Joe's is always busy, always, and it's so small of a store, you're always brushing up against people, but not on Easter. So yesterday, we're walking up and down the aisles, and this lady is demoing, and I don't know if that's what you call it in the States. I'm sorry, I'm still a bumpkin, even though I've been living in the States for like 20 years now, but overseas, my mom used to work in the commissary, and she would do these things called demos, which is short for demonstration. And I'm sorry if this is common knowledge, and I'm just acting like it's not, because I have no idea if people know that a demo is when you just pop a squat in the middle of the fucking store and try to sell something you're making on a griddle. I don't know, to get people to buy more of the product. I always thought it was the dumbest thing. And my mom had tried to get me to do that a couple times, and I'm like, I'm not going to sit there and beg people to eat a piece of bacon. Like, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to chase somebody down, eat this bacon, buy this product. Like, no, I'm not going to do it. But I will be the person that eats the bacon. And so, but these days, I haven't stopped and gotten food from a demo ever. I used to do it in Japan because Japanese demos were delicious. It was sushi. It would be like little Dixie cups of like the delicious ramen and like some tasty sauce. They were like gourmet demos. And then I get to the States and it's like, you want a piece of cheese? Like, what the fuck? I don't want to eat your cheese. So this lady she's popped a squat in the middle of Trader Joe's, and you want to know what she's yelling out for people to try? Gummies. Gummy bears. Straight up just a bowl of gummies. And I'm sorry, that's fucking weird. And so I wasn't even thinking about it. I just like passed by and I saw, excuse me, this older lady. Not that her age matters, it doesn't. Let's just say sorry about the voice. Is that better? Okay, I hope so. I don't know how to edit. She looked pretty snooty, which meant to me she looked out of place, because at Trader Joe's, snooty people, as far as I know, at least in like Syracuse, they don't go to Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's are for like, liberal people. Like, at least that's what I've been told. And so she did not look like she belonged in that store. And I know that's a mean thing to say. And so she asked me like, hey, do you want to try a gummy? And I'm like, I laughed. I'm like, does it have pot in it? And she just like, her smile froze, and slowly her face started forming into a frown, but it was like as if it were slow motion. Do you know what I mean? It's like kind of like a slow clap, but for your face. And I just was like looking at her, and I'm like, no, not funny. Okay, bye. Oh my God. And usually I would be embarrassed, but like I wasn't, because I thought it was so fucking dumb. Like, there wasn't even chocolate on those gummies. She straight up just wanted people to like, do you want to try this gummy bear and buy this bag of gummy bear candy? Like, I don't fucking care if it was Easter. That's weird. What did you do to get that shitty of a demo? Like, pop a shop in the middle of the store and try to get people to eat gummy bears. It's weird to me. That's weird, isn't it? If that's what people in the States do, then forgive me, because I did not know your customs as well as I thought I did. But, yeah. And the shitty thing, too, was I had to keep going down that aisle that lady was in, because we don't go to Trader Joe's all the time. And, like, my mind was, like, scattered. And I was like, oh, I forgot. Like, I wanted to go look at that. So I had to keep passing by her. And I, like, purposely did not look at her. Because I'm sorry, lady. If you don't have a sense of humor, then you do not deserve my eye contact. Anyways, and so, like, that was... Whoever works at Trader Joe's that might be listening to this, can you just no gummies? Like, that's so weird. People don't want to like, ooh, this candy's so delicious. It's not even gourmet candy. It's just fucking gummy bears. I don't get it. But what I really wanted to get on here and say 17 minutes later was something that I now noticed about myself, and I thought it was kind of funny once I was aware of what was happening. So Alicia and ketamine together equals now she has feelings, and she doesn't know what to do with all of her feelings. And I understand what that's like. And so she comes into my room yesterday, and I've been holed up in here doing all kinds of stuff in the zone. And it's been a good time back here with music and cats and working. And then she comes in and she's kind of like not with that vibe. She's sad. And she goes, will you come to the bed and lay with me? And this was like in the middle of the afternoon. And I was like, sure. I did not want to. And she knows I never want to just go lay. I hate just laying and like cuddling. I hate it. And she knows it. But I'm trying to like be better with it, because she deserves that from me, because of all the things that she goes out of her way to do for me, like take me to appointments and stuff. At the very least, I can try to meet her need for physical contact, even though I don't want to. And so I said, sure. And then we go to the bed, and she's like, don't worry, it'll only be for 10 minutes, because I've trained her now to like give me a time limit, because then I have something to work toward. Don't just bring me in there and then I don't know when I get to leave. Doesn't that sound so selfish? But it's true. If you want me in there and you want cuddles, you better give me a time limit. So she said 10 minutes. I was like, okay. And then, so we go into the bed, and she's just like laying on me, and I'm rubbing her back, and like, it's just like the cat's next to me, Hades, and he's purring, and I'm so jealous of Hades. And then 10 minutes turns into 15 minutes. And then Alicia's just crying on my shirt. Like, for just her snot and her shit is getting on my shirt. And I'm like, what the fuck is this bitch crying about? And I didn't say anything, though. I was just rubbing her back, like, and I was telling myself, be supportive. Like, just because you don't feel this way doesn't mean that, like, she can't. Like, just be supportive. And I swear, like, I was just slowly dying inside as she was crying on my t-shirt. I just fucking put that on. It was clean. And now I can't wear it once I leave whatever the fuck this is, because your boogers are on it. That's gross. Like, when I cry on her, I, like, get a tissue first, or I use my shirt so it doesn't get on hers. Like, I'm at least a thoughtful crier. Like, what the fuck? But I didn't say anything until like after the fact. But anyways, so then it was just torture for me. I was having wishes, like, I wish I was a cat. I really wish I was Hades right now. He's just laying in this bed next to me, his little cat bed that him and Morpheus share. And Hades was purring. He looked like he was in heaven. And I wanted to be him because he could leave if he wanted to. And so I was trying to sneak pets while I was rubbing her back. I was like giving him little kisses on his tootsie because it was right by my face, and I don't care. I had thoughts about all the other things I could be doing. Like, I could have gotten caught up with this TV show. I could have gotten this thing written. I could have edited this chapter of this book. And like, after a while, I'm like, it's been like way more than 10 minutes. It's like 30 minutes now. And I couldn't help it. It just came out of my mouth. And I'm like, because I was like, she said 10 minutes. So I'm thinking that she's like duping me. Like, she conned me, knowing I was going to be in there longer. But she just said 10 minutes because she knew that that would be doable for me. But she knew it was going to be more than 10 minutes. And I knew that none of that was true. But that's exactly what I was thinking in my head. And I was also thinking, like, what does this mean? Like, I wanted her to have feelings. I have been waiting for this for years, for her to just, like, get into touch with her feelings and be a little bit more emotional and, a little bit less robotic. Sorry, she can listen to this. I've said this to her face. But then I forgot about the fact that she could tap into the sadness. And she's like, this is not depression, sadness, don't worry. And I'm thinking, does that make it any better for me? It does not. I mean, great. I'm glad this isn't depression, sadness. This is the sadness that apparently, like, you're not used to experiencing and you don't know what to do with it. And that is so fucking valid. And I'm thinking all of this in my mind. And I'm also thinking, get me the fuck out of here. Please get me out of here. I'm trapped. I'm so trapped right now. I don't want to be doing any of this. And if anybody's thinking, like, I have, like, an allergy to intimacy and closeness, like, I really don't. Like, I'm all about deep conversations. Let's just get to the nitty-gritty. But, like, the touching part, it's not that I just don't like how it feels. I don't feel like, oh, this is so vulnerable. What do I do? Like, I know what to do with feelings now. I'm attempting, like, I'm in my 40s. I'm not attempting my 40s. I'm in it. Like, I have some coping skills now. Like, so I don't know if I will ever not think this way when she just wants a good cuddle. And I give her lots of credit because I know for a fact that she knows that, like, there's stuff going on in my mind that is, like, kind of like what I just described. But, I guess she's willing to get what she can take what she can get, I guess. I don't fucking know. Oh, I'm terrible with this. But I was proud of myself. I didn't, like, outwardly show, like, irritation. I did say, though, like, it just came out of my mouth. And she's like, oh, thank you. Like, what she said something. And then I thought it was an invitation to say, yeah, you fucking cried all over my shirt. And I said it just like that. And I'm like, oh, whoopsie. Like, it's annoying, but I didn't mean it to sound mean like that. Oh, man. I'm not good at this stuff. I'm not good at it. And so she's like, thank you. And I'm like, okay, you're welcome. And so I just spring up out of bed because I'm like, get me out of here. And I go to the kitchen and then she follows me, and we had gotten this thing at Trader Joe's. It's like onion rings, but it's like made out of lentil, chickpeas, something. And normally I don't like onion rings, but it was sour cream flavored. And so she gave me one to try. And I was expecting it to be gross. And it was so delicious that all I thought about was that one itsy bitsy little onion ring for like an hour, because that's how long the flavor was in my mouth, on my teeth. I just could not get the flavor out of my mouth. And that was on like one onion ring. And I just immediately started thinking about that. And I totally forgot that, like, she was sad and just crying. And I was like, oh my God, this is so delicious. And then I like ran off to my room and then I came back out and I'm like, I still can taste it. And then I realized, like, I don't think did I finish comforting her or was I allowed to just leave like that? Were we done? I don't know. She must be so used to this that, like, I don't know. I mean, maybe I should ask her when she gets home from work, like, hey, how was yesterday for you? Was that a good cuddle or no? Did I do a good job? Because I aim to please. I really do. And so when I think about things like this, that I'm trying to provide her with something that like is very hard for me to give because I just don't like being so close, and plus being on like having hot flashes and being in menopause, she runs warm all the time anyways, and I immediately break out into like hot flash. Just sweating all over, and then like when that happens I get irritated, and like so that gets factored into it. And I did at least say to her, I said, I understand, even though it may not seem like I do, that the world does not revolve around me, that other people's thoughts and feelings are important as well. It's not just me. I just can't help that that's where I go in my head when she wants to cuddle, because at the end of the day, to me, cuddling is a waste of time. You're just laying there. Like, we're not even talking. So, like, that's even more of a waste. But she says that she gets comfort from this closeness. So, okay. She seems to, like, be happy after that. So, it must be working. I don't know. Does anybody else, like, think this way? Like, does anybody else do this when their significant other or close enough other, I don't know. Does anybody else like wish that this wouldn't happen? Or is this can't just be me? And if this is you, do you hide it? Like, do you hide it from your partner? Do you tell your partner? Do you go to other places in your mind that I haven't thought of going to that could make the experience more enjoyable for me? Oh, I hope Alicia never ever hears this episode. I sure could use a little help, but if there's anybody out there that like thinks this way when their damn spouse just wants human connection, like please let me know so I don't feel like well, I actually don't feel that bad about this, but whatever. I would like to know that it's not just me that does this. And I do, in fact, love my wife very dearly, even though maybe it sounds like I don't, but I really do. I really, really do. Like, there is no other person on this earth I can think of that, I mean, if I didn't have her, I don't think I would have anybody, but I don't know. That's like a whole discussion for another time. That's all I wanted to say for today. I hope this was relatable. I'm sorry if I offended anybody who demos gummy bears. I really hope you don't, but if you do, maybe think twice about that. Like, maybe, like, try to demo some stuff that smells good and that people will actually want to eat, and that it won't make you look like a fool, you know? Like, no, I don't want to demo your gummy bears, bitch. That was probably mean. Thank you for listening. I hope this was relatable. And goodbye.